Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So we were discussing different rishis who had come there when Parikshit Maharaj was sitting down at banks of Ganga. So different rishis, Prabhupada has given summary. So we were going to start Gadhi Sutta or Vishwamitra. It's Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 19th chapter, the appearance of Shukdev Goswami, text 9 and 10. So Gadhi Sutta or Vishwamitra. A great sage of austerity and mystic power. He is famous as Gadhi Sutta because his father was Gadhi, a powerful king of the province of Kanya Kubja, part of Uttar Pradesh. So I believe Kanya Kubja is Kanpur. Although he was a Kshatriya by birth, he became a Brahmin in the very same body by the power of his spiritual achievements. He picked a quarrel with Vasishtha Muni when he was a Kshatriya king and performed a great sacrifice in cooperation with Matang Muni, and thus was able to vanquish the sons of Vasishtha. He became a great yogi, and yet he failed to check his senses and thus was obliged to become the father of Shakuntala, the beauty queen of world history. Once, when he was a Kshatriya king, he visited the hermitage of Vasishtha Muni and he was given a royal reception. Vishwamitra wanted from Vasishtha a cow named Nandini, and the Muni refused to deliver it. Vishwamitra stole the cow, and thus there was a quarrel between the sage and the king. Vishwamitra was defeated by the spiritual strength of Vasishtha, and thus the king decided to become a Brahman. Before becoming a Brahman, he underwent severe austerity on the banks of Kaushik. He was also one who tried to stop the Kurukshetra war. So Vishwamitra Muni, obviously great, very great sage. He was a king before, and then he performed so many austerities to become a Brahman because he wanted to defeat Vasishtha Muni. Vasishtha Muni defeated the whole army of Vishwamitra Muni, of the king, when he was a king, Kaushik, um, by just his walking cane. Vishwamitra and the whole army had so many weapons, and Vasishtha Muni just had the walking cane. And walking cane, he just threw in the sky, and the walking cane went, and it defeated the whole army and came back. So Vishwamitra Muni was surprised by this power. And then he decided to become a Brahman by doing austerities, by doing tapasya. And he did so much of tapasya that Vasishtha Muni himself recognized him as Brahma Rishi. He said, "You're a Brahma Rishi, not an ordinary Rishi." So then Vishwamitra Muni was satisfied, and then obviously in Ramayana, Lord Ram also, he came to take Ram with him, and then so many pastimes are there. A great, very great sage. Angira. He is one of the 6 mental sons of Brahma and the father of Brihaspati, the great learned priest of the demigods in the heavenly planets. He was born of the semen of Brahmaji given to a cinder of fire. Utatya and Samvarta are his sons. It is said that he is still performing austerity and chanting the holy name of the Lord at a place known as Alokanand on the banks of the Ganges. So I don't know where is Alokanand is. So maybe if we can find out, then we can have darshan of Angita Rishi. Parshuram, Prabhupada already explained about him. Utatya, one of the 3 sons of Maharshi Angira, he was a spiritual master of Maharaj Mandhata. He married Bhadra, the daughter of Soma, moon. Varuna kidnapped his wife Bhadra, and to retaliate the offense of the god of water, he drank all the water of the world. So, great sages we had. Medha Tithi, an old sage of yore, an assembly member of the heavenly king Indradev. His son was Kanva Muni, who brought up Shakuntala in the forest. He was promoted to the heavenly planet by strictly following the principles of retired life, Vanprastha. Then the stage Deval, a great authority like Narad Muni and Vyasadeva. His good name is on the list of authorities mentioned in Bhagavad Gita when Arjun acknowledged Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He met Maharaj Yudhishthir after the battle of Kurukshetra, and he was the elder brother of Dhaumya, the priest of the Pandav family. Like the Kshatriyas, he also allowed his daughter to select her own husband in his Swayamvar meeting, and at that ceremony, all the bachelor sons of the rishis were invited. According to some, he is not Asita Deval. So, in Bhagavad Gita, Arjun mentions about Asita Devala Vyasa, means about the because these rishis said Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and Arjun said that's why I also acknowledge that. So Prabhupada is saying, according to some, he is not the same Deval that is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. We don't know. Bharadwaj Rishi, Prabhupada explained earlier, Gautam Rishi, one of the 7 great sages of the universe. Sharadvan Gautam was one of his sons. Persons in the Gautam Gotra dynasty today are either his family descendants or in his disciplic succession. The Brahmins who profess Gautam Gotra are generally family descendants, and the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas who profess Gautam Gotra are all in the line of his disciplic succession. He was the husband of the famous Ahalya, who turned into stone when Indradev, the king of heaven, molested her. Ahalya was delivered by Lord Ramchandra. Gautam was the grandfather of Kripacharya, one of the heroes of the battle of Kurukshetra. So much of connection is there. Dronacharya. He was a grandson of Gautam Rishi himself. Maitreya, a great rishi of yore, he was a spiritual master of Vidura and a great religious authority. He advised Dhritarashtra to keep good relations with the Pandavas. Duryodhan disagreed and thus was cursed by him. He met Vyasadeva and had religious discourses with him. I don't know what was the curse that Duryodhan got from Maitreya Rishi. So maybe we have to study Mahabharata to find that out. But you see, all these, so many sages, so many rishis had come at that place where Parikshit Maharaj is sitting down on the banks of Ganges. And they knew Parikshit Maharaj, being a great devotee, he's going to leave his body and Srimad Bhagavatam will be spoken. So they wanted to come and have darshan and have association of darshan of Parikshit Maharaj or give him their association. But at the same time, they recognized him being a great devotee of the Lord. That's why they all came. See, Parikshit Maharaj, he was a grihastha. He was not a sannyasi. And he was a king. Normally, all these sages or rishis, they don't want to associate with kings because kings have to deal with so many money and power and women. They have to deal with all these things. And the sages want to be away. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was staying in Jagannath Puri, King of Puri, Maharaj Pratap Rudra, although he was a great devotee, he wanted to have an interview with Maharaj Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wanted to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and talk to him. But Mahaprabhu would not meet him, would not even give him audience. So many devotees tried. Nityanand Prabhu, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, so many devotees tried. Mahaprabhu, please meet him. He is a great devotee. He is not just like an ordinary king. But Mahaprabhu would said, meeting a materialistic person like Maharaj Pratap Rudra is equivalent to drinking poison voluntarily for a sannyasi like me. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not even meet him. But later on, Maharaj Pratap Rudra served the devotees and he started getting the mercy, indirectly the mercy of Mahaprabhu. And when during the time of Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath, Maharaj Pratap Rudra when he swept the road in front of Lord Jagannath's chariot, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu really understood that he's a very humble, very deserving devotee. So when the Rath Yatra stopped at the Jagannath Vallabh garden and Mahaprabhu was inside, went inside to take rest. So then devotees, they asked Maharaj Pratap Rudragive up your this kingly dress, you wear the dress of a Vaishnava, of a devotee, and you go and massage the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then Mahaprabhu gave him his mercy. So he was so strict. And see, similarly here, all these rishis are strict because they were, even if they meet any king, it would be just for a few moments. But here they knew the Parikshit Maharaj is a great devotee of the Lord. He himself was protected by Krishna in the womb of his mother Uttara. So they wanted to come. Similarly, at the time when we read about Bhishma Dev, when he left his body, all these sages, they were there. Bhishma Dev was not a sannyasi. He was a kshatriya, although not a grihastha, he was a brahmachari, but he was a kshatriya and he died in the battlefield. He's leaving his body in the battlefield. But all the sages appeared over there. Why? Because Bhishma Dev is a great devotee of the Lord. So these sages, they were not envious of the position, of the devotion, of the mercy that he had of Krishna and the mercy now he's going to receive from Shukdev Goswami. They're not envious of his position. They appreciate it. And they want it to be there. And now we will see all the great sages, beginning from Narad Muni, Vyasadeva, and all the sages that are named, they will all sit down in the audience along with Maharaj Parikshit to listen to Bhagavatam from Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami is son of Vedvyas, and he's only 16 years old. But they all understood his spiritual position. And that's why they will all sit down for 7 days and 7 nights. Even they won't move from the place. And they would listen to Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the quality that makes us recipient of the message of Bhagavatam. Non-enviousness, humble, taking a humble position, tolerant, developing the mood of tolerance, giving respect to others, not expecting respect for ourselves. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. That these are the qualities we have to develop to make, if we want to chant the holy names of the Lord constantly. And similarly, if we want to listen, if we want to get the message of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, similar qualities we have to develop. Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita that, Arjun, I am giving you this knowledge for 3 reasons. He said, you are my devotee, you are my friend, and anasuyave. You are not envious of me. When we are envious, when we are thinking why this person is getting more respect than I am, why he has more knowledge, why he has better or more qualities than I do, then we cannot listen, we cannot hear that person. And not only that person, Krishna also withdraws his mercy. So we cannot even listen, we cannot speak the message of Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. So this enviousness, actually it's a last anartha of all the 6 kinds that we have. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya. Matsarya is enviousness. That is the last one to get rid of from our hearts, from our consciousness, from our chitta. It's the most difficult to get rid of. And it's the last one. And because of that enviousness, we are here in the material world and we cannot make progress to go back to the spiritual world. And we have this enviousness. Just like older days, there was this advertisement of Nirma, no? Uski kameez, meri kameez se safed kaise, something like that. So similarly, this enviousness we have. How come he knows more than me? How come he chants more than me? How come he does this or she does this more than me? This is nonsense enviousness. Actually, see, all these sages, they appeared over there because they understood Parikshit Maharaj has received the mercy of Lord Krishna. And they acknowledged that, they appreciated that. So this is the thing. I mean, like Prabhupada also said, Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tara Pravartan. Means without the mercy of Krishna, one cannot preach. Prabhupada preached so vigorously because he had the full mercy of Krishna. So when somebody is doing great in devotional service or even materially, we have to understand he got the mercy of the Lord. The Lord has given his mercy, so great. I'm not deserving, that's why I don't have the mercy. Simple as that. And when I deserve, Krishna will also give me his mercy in the way he wants to. So we should be happy for other people's advancement. But this enviousness doesn't let us become happy and doesn't let us make progress either. And that's what brings. And enviousness is also just like in America, if you go to the superstores, grocery stores, there they sell crabs, the kekade. They catch the crabs from seawater and they put them in an open container full of water, half full of water. But it's an open container, maybe of the size of like 3 feet diameter or 2 feet diameter, something like that. And the crabs, they won't just go up the side of the container and they jump down and be free. They just don't do that. Why? Because the owners of this grocery store, they know this quality of crabs. That's why they keep them open, in the open container. They won't run away. Why? Because when one crab tries to climb on the wall of the container, the other crabs grab him down. They pull him down. They're so, I guess it's a quality, they're envious of each other or whatever it is. So similarly, this is what envious people do. They not only, don't like if somebody has the quality, they want to pull him down also. That I cannot make progress, so I should bring you down to my level, so then I'm happy. Then I don't have competition, and then it really feels good sometimes. I guess it really feels. Oh, see, I mean, yeah, I can tell to the whole world he was just like me, or even lower than me. He was just showing off. This is enviousness. And this doesn't let us make progress. We should be happy when some other person is making progress, is doing well in every way, materially, physically, spiritually, every way. Somebody is doing well, we should be happy. And when we are happy, Krishna will give us his mercy also. Okay, text 11. Anya cha devarshi brahma rishi varya rajarshi varya runadayashta Nanarshya Pravran Sametan Abhyarchya Raja Shirsava Vande. There were also many other saintly demigods, kings, and special royal orders called Arunadayas, a special rank of Raja Rishis, from different dynasties of sages. When they all assembled together to meet the Emperor Parikshit, he received them properly and bowed his head to the ground. See, and look at the qualities of Maharaj Parikshit. He received them properly and bowed his head to the ground. Means he was humble in receiving them. The system of bowing the dead head to the ground to show respect to superiors is an excellent etiquette which obliges the honored guest deep into the heart. Even the first great offender is excused simply by this process. And Maharaj Parikshit, although honored by all the rishis and kings, welcomed all the big men in that humble etiquette in order to be excused from any offenses. Generally, at the last stage of one's life, this humble method is adopted by every sensible man in order to be excused before departure. In this way, Maharaj Parikshit implored everyone's goodwill for going back home, back to Godhead. So this is a humble position Maharaj Parikshit took because of course, he is assured because Krishna himself protected him in the womb of his mother. But still, he is taking this humble position that without he is kind of saying to everybody that without your mercy, without your blessings, I cannot go back home, back to Godhead. So I need your blessings, I need your mercy. Although he himself is so exalted that all the rishis have come there because of his position, but he is saying, I don't have any position. He's saying, I don't have any qualities. Just like Srila Prabhupada also, when he was leaving his body, so at that time also he basically all his godbrothers who came to be with him or to see him, he asked for forgiveness from everybody. He said, in my preaching mission, in my well, the kind of words he used was like I was very stubborn and I was very like in a different kind of mood. I must have committed offenses. I must have offended you by my words. So please forgive me for those. But all the God brothers, they said, no, 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 Swami, you didn't offend us anyway. You were doing great service and you still are. So that was their mood. But Prabhupada's mood was he wanted to ask for forgiveness. And just like Prabhupada is writing here, even the first great offender is excused simply by this process of bowing the head to the ground. Just like before this Kali also, when Maharaj Parikshit approached him and tried to stop him, Kali also bowed down his head and then Maharaj Parikshit forgave him. He did not punish him. Only thing he did was, okay, you cannot live here, but he did not, Maharaj Parikshit did not punish him. So it has a great meaning. Of course, it is gone now. Nobody does that anymore. Even I mean, when we approach our elders, the earlier days we used to touch their feet. Now it's just symbolic. We are at the most go to their knees. Not even that much these days. So, so what kind of mercy and blessings we will get? So anyway, it's a great etiquette, and one should adopt it as much as one can. So I'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, on these great rishis like let's say Vishwamitra ji. So they were there during Lord Ram's period as well, and here as well they were kind of assembled to hear Srimad Bhagavatam.
Mhm.
It appears they had a very, very long life. So,
Oh,
what
yeah.
was the secret behind that? And then after Bhagavatam was spoken, how come they disappeared immediately after that, or maybe so before that they had such a long life, but after Bhagavatam, it seems I'm a little puzzled. Um,
First of all these sages, all these rishis that are mentioned here, um, just like demigods, they live for one manvantar, 71 Chaturyugas. So all these great sages also do the same. And afterwards, they go back to the spiritual world. So now, where are they? Your question is that maybe like Angira Rishi Prabhupada wrote, no? He is at in Alokanand, banks of Ganges, is still chanting the holy names. So maybe they are here, but we cannot recognize or we cannot see. Like Agastya Rishi, he went towards South India. He's there. They still say he's there. So maybe it's because Kali Yuga is so rotten for them, they don't want to come out. Maybe when Satyuga starts, they'll all come back again, come back out. Kali Yuga, who's going to listen to them and who's going to even recognize them?
Thank you, Prabhujan. Do they descend from heavenly planets like demigods? Few of them.
They could be, or maybe from Satyaloka. There is a like higher planet below Brahmaloka. Satyaloka is there, Tapaloka is there. So they could have gone there and to do more tapasya. We don't know.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay, so I guess we can stop here. Hare Krishna. Jai Shila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.